now it's killing me. And we got out. She was all like, Tanika, and I'm just so weak. I can't do anything but sit there and blink and hyperventilate. And so she runs in, she runs in, she runs back out. There's a nurse running behind her with a wheelchair. The nurse gets to me. She's all like, "Are you okay, ma'am? Can you hear me?" And I'm all like, and she's just all like, and she's just like, okay. She's like, can you walk? Can you walk? And I'm like, and she just like, and so like she gets me, and she's like, okay, you're gonna have to help me now so we can get you out. And so like I'm trying my best, and I flop down in that wheelchair, and my grandma grabbed my wallet, my medicine, and she shuts the door, and the nurse just zooms me on in. My grandma's running right behind her. Now I'm thinking they're finna make me wait in the ER like they do everybody. No, they opened up that door. She zoomed me in that through that little hallway. She's like, we got a patient, and she yelled out something, and then they got me in the bed. Next thing I knew, like 50 nurses was in my room. Well, not 50, probably like I think it was like 6 of them. It was like 6 of them that ran in there, like shoom, and then and then like 2 doctors were all like vroom, like they're like, I mean, they were in my room so fast. They were hooking me up to everything. They were talking to my grandma. They were trying to get me to understand what was going on. They're like, hey, we don't know what's going on. We don't know how to treat it yet, but this is what we're gonna do so you can breathe. Because they pulled up my pulse. They were all like, she needs it, she needs it, she needs it. Like I don't know what they're talking about. To this day, I still don't know what they're talking about. Well, I know what they're talking about. They were talking about the fact that I was dying. And they were just all like, we need this, we need this. And then next thing I know, the nurse comes in. She rips off my nightgown. She throws it, the shirt that I had on under it. She takes it and she throws it. She's all like, she looks at my scar, because I have where I had my surgery. It starts like right here, and it goes all the way down to my belly button. Well, it did go into my belly button. I had to take my belly button ring out after like 5-6 years of having it. It's kind of sad, but anyways, and she's just all like, oh my gosh. She's all like, come look at this. And then they come, they look, and they're just all like, and they're like, it's infected, it's infected. And then like they're taking it, they're ripping off the bandage that my doctor taught me how to put on. They're ripping it off. She's grabbing it and she's touching it. And then here comes another guy, and he's putting this thing over my face. And I'm like, ugh! And I'm just, I didn't, for some reason, I didn't like that stuff over my face. And so I'm fighting him to put it on. He finally gets it on. He's turning that oxygen up. He's like, is that too much? I'm just like, and he's just all like, okay, okay. And then he turns it down. He's all like, is that okay? And I'm like, and he's all like, you gotta slow it down. You gotta slow it down. You gotta slow it down. I'm just all like, okay. He's like, okay, okay, okay. He's like, you gotta slow it down, And then the doctor comes in, and he tells my grandma, like, we're finna do x-rays, we're finna do this, we're finna do this, we're finna do this. And then like they take my temperature. They're all like, oh my gosh, she has a fever. And I'm just all like, they're all like, take the blanket, take the blanket. So they take the blanket, they throw the blanket on the ground, and then x-ray comes running in, and he's like, I need you to get an x-ray of her chest. So all the nurses step back, and then he comes and he hooks me all up, and he's just like, okay, we're gonna do this really quick. And I'm like, and he's just all like doing what he gotta do. And then the nurses come back, and they're like, here, you gotta drink the Tylenol. So they really thing them gave me the Tylenol. And I'm like, what? They're like, no water. And I'm just all like and my grandma, like, I'm scared, I'm crying. My grandma's trying not to let me see she's crying. And I'm just all like, what's going on? Like, something seriously is going on. And so then, like, the doctor's all like, Miss Fuller, And she was like, yes, ma'am. She's like, yes. He's like, can I talk to you outside? So they go and they talk outside. All the nurses, they're just reassuring me everything's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. We know we all just bombarded you at one time. We know that, we understand that, and we're sorry that we scared you, but we had to get this done. They're all like, did you recently have cancer removal surgery? I'm like, yes, yes, yes. They're all like, did you have it done at Baylor? And I was like, they're like, you don't have to say it, just nod your head, or, and I was just all like, they're all like, did they get all the cancer? And I'm just all like, you know. Like, I'm laughing now, but it wasn't funny. It really isn't funny. It's just I'm embarrassed about the fact that I let myself get like that. Like, okay, let me just finish the story. The part of the story I'm gonna tell y'all. And then they finally got my heart rate back to where they kind of wanted it. They got my pulse where they kind of wanted it. They got my breathing. They got my hyperventilating down to a point to where I was able to speak words. Let's see. My mom came. My home pastor, she was there. She came. She said a prayer and everything. And then that's when they told me, they're all like, the doctor came in. He was all like, Miss Hill, and I was like, yes. And he was all like, okay, good. We're able to say some words now without hyperventilating. And I said, yes. And then he was all like, okay. He was like, well, let me explain to you what's going on. And I was like, okay. And he was all like, what's happening is your lungs are filled with fluid. And he said, because you had your procedure done in Tyler, because you had your procedure done in Dallas at Baylor, they were just like, we have to send you back there. He said, we could do the procedure here, but we don't want to risk anything. And they were all like, and he was all like, so we're going to have to send you back to Baylor Scott and White. And I was all like, in my head, I was like, flippity flop flop flip more cuss words, you know. And then some more stuff was happening. Of course, I was not fully aware of what was going on. My grandma, my mom, and Pastor Henderson knew a lot more than I did, of course, because they were talking to the doctor. I will never forget this. There was a nurse there that I went to school with, and she's younger than me. She walked in my room, and she was taking my temperature again, and she looked at me and she said, "Are you okay?" And I told her, I was like, "No." Because they told me they were going to have to fly me back in a helicopter because that would be the fastest option to get me there. And I was like, "No." And she was like, "Well, what is it?" I said, "I'm scared." I said, "I know something is wrong. I'm scared." And I just started bawling my eyes out. And she was just all like, she's like, can I hold your hand? And I was all like, yeah. And she grabbed my hand, like, like she was holding my hand so tender. And she was just all like, "You're going to be fine." She's all like, "We have found part of the problem, and we're going to send you back so they can fix it and find out what else is wrong." She's like, "You are going to be okay." She's all like, "Do you pray?" And I was all like, "Yes." And she's like, "Well, you need to pray." She's all like, "I will pray for you." She's like, "But you need to pray as well." And she was all like, "God has you. You're going to be fine." And I just looked at her and I started crying all over again. Not because I was sad, not because I was worried, but because I could not believe somebody said something so sweet and so tender like that, not even knowing who I am. You know, like, yeah, we went to school together. We never really talked. We never really hung out. Like, I knew her because, you know, we had mutual people, because we ran into each other in the hallway every now and then. But like, she was so sweet with it, and you could tell she meant every word of it. But after that, I go, "Can y'all put me to sleep?" And she's like, "No." Like, I was like, "Y'all need to put me to sleep. I'm scared to get in this helicopter." But then the helicopter guys, they came in and they talked to me, and they reassured me that I was gonna be fine, that everything was gonna be okay. You know, that they're gonna get me there safe. They're gonna get me there alive. They're gonna get me there, and everything is gonna be fine. And this is where I'm gonna end that part. So part 3 will be what happened at Baylor. Probably not all of it, because like I said, this story is really wild. It's really crazy. So part 3 will be about when they fly me to Baylor. Okay, but anyways, let me kind of explain. Do I sound like a dumbass? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because I should have taken better care of myself. The whole time I had cancer, I was saying that I needed to make sure I was there to raise my daughter. I need to make sure I'm still alive to raise my daughter. And then I get home and everybody is telling me, "You need to go back to the hospital because something's wrong with you." Like, my mom even told me I looked like walking death. And I still would not go to the hospital. It's like I had a death wish. And, you know, it was just a really, really hard time for me. It was just really hard because, 1, I was being stubborn. 2, I didn't want to go back to the hospital for any reason. And 3, I just wanted to be okay. I kept praying every day to God, "Please just take the pain away. Please just take all of this away. Please, 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 please." And God's telling me, "My people are telling you how to fix this, and you're ignoring all the signs. You're ignoring all of them. You're telling them no. You're telling them you don't need to go to the hospital. Your mom is telling you you look like walking death, and you still are not listening, my child. Well, here is your last string. Let's see if you bite." And I did. But anyways, because it's almost my time limit. But anyways, thank you guys for listening. You know, thank you guys for waiting. Most definitely. I know that I'm not gonna get my views back up like that, but I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna work on making sure that I make videos. I'm gonna make sure that, you know, I do right. I'm gonna make sure that you know, everything is done. Even, you know, I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of things that I want to do, and just thank you guys for riding on this ride with me. Okay? Yeah. So, that was nasty. Thanks.